Well, good morning. It is 11 o'clock, and I thank you for tuning in to our presentation on the All-American Smart Home. My name is Beth Baker, and I am the Aging in Place Navigator for the Forever Dublin Hub. I will be recording this presentation this morning. I wish you to know that. And if you have questions, if you could save them in the chat box or save them for the end of the presentation, we would appreciate that as well. Today's presentation is timely in that we are all at home. Bill and Kathy Stauffer will present All-American Smart Home, which promotes the use of current technologies that will help you love where you live. We have a guest speaker prior to the presentation for the All-American Smart Home. His name is Mr. Doug McCullough, and he is the Chief Information Officer with the City of Dublin. Doug has been at the forefront of innovation to bring change and inclusion to all in the smart and connected cities. The IT workforce development and expanding broadband access and the like. Doug has a resume which includes positions at the State of Ohio Departments of Public Safety, Commerce, and Industrial Commission. Doug is on the advisory board of the Peer Scholars of Columbus and a founding member of the Black Tech Columbus. He is an alumni of the University of Toledo and Notre Dame and has been honored for his work by numerous organizations, one of which is the distinguished 2019 Top Doers, Dreamers, and Drivers honoree. Please welcome Doug McCullough.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you on this cold Ohio day. I'm here to give you context of how Smart Home and Forever Dublin work in the city of Dublin. Why here? Why the city of Dublin? And my role in the city of Dublin is to look forward and to make sure from a technology perspective, we are not only in time with the game, but ahead of the game, that the infrastructure we have in place is an enabler to the kinds of things that our residents and our businesses and our visitors want to experience. And so that requires a certain amount of planning and development and investment. And that's part of what my job is for the city of Dublin. So one of the things we want you to know is about the city of Dublin's visionary goal that a couple of years our city council put forward, which is to be the most connected city in the United States. And that's a really big deal. It's considered a moonshot goal to give us direction and understand what that is. That is most definitely related to fiber and broadband in terms of connectivity, but it's also related to non-technology kinds of connectivity, even to the level of neighbor to neighbor or people to their government or connecting people to information. So it's more than just infrastructure, but we want you to know about that as well. The city of Dublin has been known for a while for the Dublin fiber optic system, which includes a 100 gigabit per second fiber transport network that is used mostly by businesses in our legacy office parks. We have a number of strategic public and private partnerships, including smart mobility and a number of different projects like that. So the city is a big investor in innovation, and one of those innovations you may have heard about is the 33 Smart Mobility Corridor. We have some projects you will not have heard about yet on augmented reality. So those are some of the things that you may have heard from us. Next slide, please. So part of how we get to this space is having to do with aging in place. The city of Dublin concerned itself some time ago with people feeling that they needed to leave Dublin. And we don't want anyone feeling that they need to leave Dublin because it's not the right community for them. And that's how we get to aging in place. Related to that is just generally safety and quality of life, quality of experience. Those are important things to us. So the city is related to our 33 Smart Mobility Corridor and smart mobility generally. The city is testing roadside units at intersections and in fleets. You may have heard of that project. And we are beta testing the first blockchain-based digital identity in the state of Ohio. What does that mean? That means that on your device, you might have a QR code that you can use to identify yourself for city services. And we believe that this could be the wave of the future. It's a voluntary kind of a thing, but it is something that you should know about and be prepared for, so that if it does come, the city of Dublin will be well prepared. We will have the infrastructure in place. But one of the critical things that we're concerned about is people's safety, their experience, and their capacity to use digital technologies to interact with their community. Another big thing that we're dealing with is fiber to the home and residential broadband. Everybody always asks about this whenever we talk about our Dublin fiber optics program. And yes, we are exploring what would it take to connect fiber to every home in the city of Dublin. Not saying that we're going to do it, saying that we are trying to figure out how to do it. If it works for us, we're going to push forward. That being said, we have a pilot program happening right now in which we've selected an extremely small number of homes that we are connecting fiber to. And this is how we get into our partnership with American Smart Homes, a part of it, and trying to figure out if we could put broadband in homes, what kind of experiments could we do? And they are going to speak some about that. Next slide, please. So the smart home, excuse me, smart home concept is paramount in your understanding. And we're not completely clear in the city of Dublin. What does that mean? What does smart home mean? What is a smart neighborhood? And that's why we're so happy to be working with someone like American Smart Homes, who are the experts where this is concerned. Our concern is getting the infrastructure so that the internet and power and safety are available to our homes. And then we want to work with somebody like American Smart Homes who can, light the way for us on what the rest of that means. Our fiber to the home project extends our reach for and our overall strategy and goals of being the most connected city in the nation. And it is about more than just our economic health, but also community health and well-being as a community of choice. And what that means to us is that you can't really measure how a community is doing, how successful it is, without including digital connectivity. And as I've said before, not just fiber and broadband connectivity, but people's ability to connect to their healthcare, to their transportation, to their neighbors, and to their government. We believe that this enhances ability, safety, wellness, and a relationship to the community. And that's our role. That's the context of why the city is doing this. And so I'm very eager to hear what's next from American Smart Homes. And thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you, Doug. We did have one question in the tax box or in the chat box regarding taxes. They have a Dublin mailing address, but will it affect their taxes? I don't know if you can address the fiber optic network in Dublin.
What I can say is that the funding and financing of such a network, when we're talking about to residents, has not been determined yet. However, the Dublin fiber optic system has not impacted taxes. As a matter of fact, it generates revenue and it has paid for itself many times over through dealing with non-residents and the revenues that come from that. We actually lease some of the fiber to others. When it comes to residential broadband, we have to figure out how are we going to pay for
it. Okay. Thank you so much, Doug. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce then our presenters, Bill and Kathy Stauffer with the All-American Smart Home. Bill finished his master's degree at the Ohio State University in 1992, and he began working in information technology. He continued his education in advanced IT and network training and achieved multiple certifications in the IT industry. In 2005, he started Superior Computing, which provides IT support to small and mid-sized businesses in Central Ohio. In 2016, Bill began laying the foundation for the All-American Smart Home as an extension of Superior Computing. His wife, Kathy, joined him in 2019 to assist in running the daily operations of the All-American Smart Homes. And with a background in communications at The Ohio State University and experience in nonprofit work, she found herself very drawn to the many ways that the smart technology could truly improve the everyday lives of individuals. My mom's condo smart has not only made things easier for her, but given both Kathy and her mother peace of mind. Please welcome Bill and Kathy.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you, Dublin, for allowing us to be here. We are very, very passionate about the ways that smart technology can help people, and that is how we entered it. And you will hear me talk a lot about my mom, or I have a brother who is disabled because of a heart condition, and it has made a huge, huge difference in the life of my family, and in turn, it expanded to the life of like some of my mom's friends, and then out from there. But we are very passionate about helping people in the ways that smart technology is not just fun, but it is very, very helpful and can really change lives. And our whole goal in speaking to you today is to find ways, the best ways to age in place. And so even if the things we talk about today don't apply to you right now, you may know someone, or it may be something for your future. So I love being here. I love sharing this, and we really appreciate you allowing us to be here. So, but to tell you truly how it began, Bill is a techie, but it kind of all began with a leg lamp. It all began, I will let, I know, Bill, can you hear me? You're in a different office. I would love Bill to tell this story, because it changed everything, and it really is the foundation of how we decided to start All-American Smart Homes.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm sure most of you did not anticipate the leg lamp from A Christmas Story as a slide on our home and aging in place presentation, but it plays a big role. It's an example of why we do what we do. And what happened, this was a number of years ago. I received a call from a doctor out east who was having computer problems, and went over to the house, started working on the computer. Come to find out, he had a son who had cerebral palsy. And we had started a little bit in the smart home and knew that it was a growing industry and that it had opportunities to help a lot of people. And so I communicated that to the doctor, and he was very, very excited about ways that we could help his son. So he was so excited that he took me in his car to pick up some smart equipment. I came back yet that same day and set up some smart lighting and some other smart technologies in the house. And once we got everything working, everyone was really excited. And his son said, you know what I really want to do is I want to be able to turn on the light on the leg lamp. That's all that he seemed to care about. So he set that up as well. And he has the opportunity now to control the lights in the house and do a number of other things. But I cannot begin to tell you how much it changed his life. Things that were obstacles before were not obstacles. And more than anything else, he had a chance to turn on the leg lamp. So our passion, we discovered that day that this is what we want to do, is to help people. No matter what area or time in your life you are, what your lifestyle is, whatever the circumstances are, we have a passion to help in that area. Smart technology is a great avenue to do that. And so I went back to our office, talked to our staff, and that was the beginning of All-American Smart Homes. It's that passion to help people, to make people's lives better, and make a big difference in their lives. So that's basically what happened. That's why the leg lamp in our presentation. Thank you, Kathy, for allowing me to share that.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Well, you all are here One of the things I love about everything Doug said is that Dublin is a proactive place. It is the goal to be a smart city, the goal to lead this. It is proactive for the things that are coming, because what's coming is, I don't know, I don't even know where I first started. Remember the giant cell phones? They were, before smartphones, they were in cars. Maybe Don Johnson in Miami Vice might have had one in his car with the giant cell phones. And then they were smartphones, and they were unusual to have. And then everyone has a smartphone, and now it's just a phone. I mean, I kind of don't always expect people to have a home phone. People do, but so it went from being a luxury to a cell phone, a smartphone, and now it's just a phone. And the smart home is going to be the same way. We know that's coming. You know, that's why Doug and Dublin, the city of Dublin, is great. It's proactive. And so this was one of our IT clients, and Buck is still running his business, but they've added, as they've gotten older, Buck and Nancy, who are in the picture, have added more and more things as they go towards retirement. And that's the whole idea. Just to get started, you can start small so you get used to it and you know how it works. So here are the 4 things we are going to cover today. Maybe you don't even know what a smart home is, and we will explain that and how it applies to aging in place and being independent, but we will define that. We hear the second question a lot. What if I am not good with technology? So that we will address. You do not have to be good with technology if it is set up correctly. And then Bill will share a game changer in fall detection. It's huge. And this may not be for you right now, but you may know someone. You may know someone that you're thinking, oh yeah, they could really use fall detection, or it needs to be in every care facility. Really, this needs to be in every care facility. And Bill will address that. And then how do you start? How do you make your own plan? So that's why we're here. So what is a smart home? It's a group of technologies that makes your life better. It's easy to use. It should absolutely be easy to use and helpful. Those are very, very important things. It should not be hard. It should not be, 10 remotes on the living room, on your side table of your living room. It needs to be easy and helpful, and right now, and how to maintain your independence. So this is Janet. Janet's daughter, Nikki, lives in Dublin, and Janet is in another city in Ohio. So she set her up with a smart home. Janet did not have a smartphone until her husband passed away, and she's never run a computer. She does have an email, but she doesn't, it was just to set things up. She doesn't use it. She's not been on a Zoom call. She does nothing technical, except for now she's a techie because she runs her smart home, and she finds new things and tells Nikki, which cracks Nikki up. So one of the easy technologies, let's start with the easy ones. You guys have seen commercials for the video screens like this. I'm sure you've seen commercials for this. I told you I was going to talk a lot about my mom. This was a life changer for us last March and April. My mom is about 35 minutes away, and we could not see each other face to face. So every evening, depending on the timing, one of us could be making dinner, one of us could be doing dishes, we would see each other every single night. And it's totally different when you talk to someone on the phone versus being able to see their faces. And not only that, I mean, that's wonderful, but we use it on holidays because it can help you play games. Or when my children were home and everybody tells mom, I need deodorant, I need snacks for soccer, whatever it might be, I would say, tell the screen, and it would tell it, and it goes right to your phone. And better yet, it goes right to my husband's phone. So he can't forget anything. The list is right there, but the list goes to your phone. And it's also very helpful when you're cooking. I find if I run out of a spice, I could be out of it for months before this, because how often do you remember while you're cooking, oh, I need cumin? It's not on the regular list. So it's very helpful. It goes right to your smartphone, and recipes or facts you might want to know. It's really fun. It's really easy to use. So it's always one of those things I think everyone should love. Another technology that makes your life easier and that's easy to use is a TV that you can control with your voice. You know, remember those remotes I was just talking about, maybe on the coffee table or the side table? You can get rid of them. You can speak to your TV if it is set up correctly. And I tend to tell it to do things, and I'm not sure what channel or what streaming device. So let's say I say, tell it to, I want to watch The Crown on Prime Video. And it doesn't tell me I'm wrong. It just says, watching The Crown on Netflix. So it just finds the right thing for me. I can tell it to turn up, turn down, and pause. And again, another great feature is that if you have security cameras or a video doorbell, I could tell it to show me the front door or show me the backyard. And it will pause what I'm watching and put it up on the TV. My mom has low vision. And so if she hears a noise and it makes her feel anxious, she can tell the TV to bring up the video and she can see what's outside. Or, you know, if she would be talking to me, I have her camera set up so that I can see her cameras as well, which is a great feature, you know, for safety and for everything. Then if maybe you want to leave it up, if you tell it to resume watching, it will put the camera up in picture. Or you could just say dismiss camera, and it just takes you back to the TV show you were watching. And there you go, volume up, volume down. It's fantastic, and it's easy to use once you get it set up. Another easy thing to use is smart fans and smart shades. They, having smart shades and fans period save you money, but what smart shades and smart fans do is you can set them for a particular time to start, especially your fans. You're not home, your windows are up and the sun is blazing, and you can either have a certain time that they go down that you've pre-programmed, or you can go to your phone and put them down. So it is a great money savings. You can set them up to be controlled with your voice, which is very nice. I find that if maybe you have already have shades and motorized shades, but you have to have that little remote. And if you can't find the little remote, or you're laying in bed, the same thing, you have them for fans or shades. But if you don't have the remote right there, it's really nice to be able to talk to them and tell them to shut or start, or go faster or slower on the fan. So it's very, very nice and makes your life easier. Easy to use once it's set up. Something that is helpful. You know, all of these things need to be helpful to you. Patty did not think that she wanted smart devices in her condo, and now she says she can't imagine living without them. So one of the things that are very, very helpful are smart lights. You can control them with your voice. You can do lots of things with them, but we find something very helpful is motion sensor lights. If you have to get up to go to the bathroom at night, they can automatically come on, so you reduce the risk of a fall. Very nice. Another feature that is great, you may not know this word, but geofencing is a techie word that is very helpful. What it means is that your smartphone, which you'll probably have when you leave and come home from your house, is connected to your Wi-Fi. So when you leave your home after a certain amount of time, your Wi-Fi will no longer be connected to your phone. And so your house knows to turn all the lights off. So nothing is left on. You've saved money. You're not wasting energy. And when you get home within a certain amount of distance that has been set, your phone will alert your Wi-Fi to turn certain lights on. So you never, ever have to come into the dark. You never have to come in. It's a safety thing. You know, your lights can come on outside, or maybe if you have a garage that leads to your kitchen, your lights can go on in your garage and your kitchen. So it is very, very safe, and whatever else you may want to do with it. You can also control them when you're out of town, which makes it look like your home, which is fantastic. Another thing is your security cameras. I shared before that I have access to my mom's security cameras on my phone, which I love. If she hears something, I can look, or sometimes if there's motion sensors, or, you know, however you want to set it up, that can be for someone you love. You know, you guys can be connected. Another thing is you'll see on the screen a secure security camera. You may have heard about cameras being hacked. There are secure security cameras who have measures set in place. If someone's trying to get into your computer, into your camera, that it will automatically shut it out and shut them off, and there's total privacy. So that is a great feature. And oh, I love this one. I love my smart thermostat. First of all, when we put it in, look at those big numbers. And I don't know if you can see that. If you see the little circle on the side, you can use your finger and go up and down, and you can change the temperature that way. It saves money because if you're gone, you can control it. And you can set it, you can control it from anywhere. So if you're traveling and you're almost home, you could turn the temperature back up so it's nice and warm when you get there. You would be in Florida right now and be coming home to Ohio. So you could have it nice and warm, and you can schedule it. We like our home cooler at night, and so we schedule it to be cooler at night. And one of the things I love is that you don't have to get up. I can tell it to go up 2 degrees or down 2 degrees if you're hot or you're cold and you're already in bed. So, oh, here is a great one that is very, very helpful, as you can imagine. If one thing is vacuums are heavy. So if a vacuum is heavy for you, then you can tell it to clean the floor. A vacuum is not necessarily heavy for me, but I can tell it to clean the floor if someone's coming over and I'm not sure, or it's just more convenient to be able to tell it to clean your floor, or to tell your phone when you're away to clean your floor. So that is, and I don't know if you guys have seen the commercials for this, but they're very cute commercials. If you look up, automatic vacuums. So then we're going to talk about maintaining your independence. So I'm going to ask Bill to go ahead and talk about maintaining your independence. And these are a little bit, some of these you may not need right now, but you may know someone who needs them. So I'm going to have Bill take over this computer. Go ahead.
Again, thank you everyone for the opportunity to share what's a passion for us and what we do in ways that we can help people. One of the things that, one of the reasons we're here today is for us to find ways for you to maintain your independence as you age in place. One of those is a fire carbon monoxide detector. And one of the nice things about this is if you have issues with vision or hearing, if you have issues with hearing, the lights can flash. So if the alarm sounds and you don't hear it, then the lights will flash. That'd be an indicator that there's smoke or carbon monoxide. The other nice thing about it is the family is alerted, if something happens, so that they can react accordingly. One of the areas that I'm really glad that they have smart technology is in oven sensors. This is an issue that I personally have because I always forget to turn off the oven. So this technology allows you're communicated to, you receive a notification that the oven has been left on. So that one is for me quite a bit. It's a great feature. Pill dispensers that remind you or your loved ones that you need to take your medication. One of the nice things that it does as well is it can remind you that your parents or someone that you care for have not taken their medication. And then also the smart lock. And the smart lock, when you enter the house, you're able to enter a code, and those codes are tracked. So like you could give your caregiver or your parents' caregiver a code. They enter the code when they come in. You're alerted that they came into the house, and that way you have track and you know exactly who comes in and out of the house. We're going to change directions here for a little bit, particularly for those who have loved ones that may have issues with falling. And here are some statistics about falls. 1 in 4 seniors falls every single year. 80% of the falls happen when no one is around. And a third of those seniors do not report their falls. And it's obviously the need to be alerted when, if you're in your home or your loved ones are in their home and they fall and there's nobody there, then that's the power of the fall detection. Here are 4 issues that we run into with existing fault technologies. Number 1, someone turns over in bed, they have a necklace on and the button gets pressed. There's no emergency, but the alert is sent, so a false alarm. Or you fall and there's a pull cord in your room, and of course you can't reach it. The third one is that you simply would forget to put on your necklace in the morning. And number 4 would be loss of consciousness. VIR Technologies, who we are a partner with, we've been a partner with them in beta testing stages throughout the development of this product. This is a hands-free emergency response system. And the benefit and power of the system is that it does not require you to wear a necklace, does not require you to wear a watch, or there does not need to be a pull cord. And when you fall, 4 people are alerted that you've fallen. And one of the things about this is you can live your life normally, and the people that you care for, these could be put in place in their homes, and they really wouldn't have to change or remember to do anything because it's hands-free. You don't have to remember to put on a necklace. You don't have to put on your watch. You don't have to do anything. If you fall, or if someone that you know falls, then you would be alerted that they've fallen, and then you can react accordingly. This is a video of exactly how that it works. Notice in the bottom left corner as the video plays, it shows you exactly what's happening all the time. And this video, especially with the notifications in the bottom left corner, and I'll show you some stuff here in a little bit as well, that this is something that should be in care facilities. And we're starting the transition and helping communities and care facilities, different organizations introduce this system into their facilities, whatever the circumstances may be. And you'll begin to see why as we start this. So I'm going to go ahead and start the video. So you notice in here that the bed is blue. That's just an indication that Malcolm is in the bedroom. If you look up above his head, there's a white disc with a cord coming down. That's the VIR unit. So now it's showing that he's in bed. And care facilities use this especially so they can monitor and know what's happening with everyone that's in the facility. So again, he's out of bed. We know that by the picture. Malcolm falls down. The alert kicks in. And notice when he stands up, it just says, oh, has not fallen anymore. This room, they have a sensor in the restroom. And so obviously the fact that the screen is blue in the bottom left corner indicates that he's in the restroom. You can only begin to imagine and figure and notice all the potential for a system like this. One of the great things about this system is it does not require a camera. The sensor sends infrared signals, harmless radio waves throughout the room. So you put one in a room, it's constantly sending out these radio waves that's able to know where you are. In a care facility, the grid that you see on the screen right now, they would be able to know where someone is in their room. They would be able to run reports as to how many times they may have went to the restroom at night, or if they walk out of their room and they're not in their room. There are so many different benefits to a system like this. And the signals are harmless. So even, not as harmless as your cell phone, to be quite honest with you. So here is the ultimate question. How do I get started with a smart home? And what we tell every single client that we work with is just start with a few. If you like it, you can continue to move and advance. Each of these are like pieces of a puzzle. So you don't have to have an entire puzzle for this to work. You could do maybe a smart lighting system or whatever technology benefits you at whatever stage you are in your life. But the most important thing that we communicate in starting a smart home is that you need to have reliable Wi-Fi. We have clients who we encourage to improve their Wi-Fi. We can come in and put a system in place that helps their Wi-Fi be better. They may not necessarily agree initially, so we put the smart home in place. We get everything running, and the smart home doesn't run very well. And the real reason the smart home doesn't run well is not that the smart technology is not good, it's that their Wi-Fi is not good. Places you'll notice issues with Wi-Fi would be you can't get on Wi-Fi outside your home, or you're streaming Netflix, whatever it may be, or even video conferencing in today's world of the pandemic. This is an area where we have a number of clients that have realized that their Wi-Fi needs to be really good. It needs to be reliable. It needs to be fast, and it needs to be secure. Did not realize how bad our Wi-Fi was until you came over, installed the new system. Now I don't even think about it. Our phrase at All American Smart Homes is Wi-Fi is so good, you don't even think about it anymore. And that is how you truly know if you have good Wi-Fi. So let's talk about a plan for aging in place. There are some questions that you can ask for you or your loved ones, your parents, whomever it may be. And the first one is, what technology is helpful right now? What would I enjoy? And what would make me feel safer? 3 important questions that you can ask. And understand too, if you choose to have smart home or smart technology put into your home, you do not know how to you don't need to know how to do it. We put everything in, and all you have to do, and we will educate you, is to know how to speak to it the right way. And we pretty much take care of everything for you. So there's intimidation with some of this, and we're here to help with that kind of stuff. 4 key points. Number 1, all technologies need to work well together. It must be secure. It needs to be configured so that you can easily add on to this system. And that professionally installed products greatly reduce the failure. So let's bring all of this together. I mentioned earlier that each of those technologies that we've mentioned so far are like pieces of a puzzle. But let's put the whole thing together into a system, an advanced system, if you choose to do so, don't have to do so. Total home automation. That's where you have an advanced remote, where you have one remote. But that just isn't a remote. It's a remote where if someone walks up to the back door of your house and you have a camera, the remote senses that there was motion at the camera and immediately shows a picture of the camera live. So that's a great feature that a lot of people use. You notice the touchpads underneath the URC there. Those can be in the wall. They can be set on a table. And that basically you're able to control any room in your house with a wall touchpad, tablet, smartphone, or simply your voice. Another area that's of great interest to people is privacy-based smart technology. And this is technology where your data is never sold. Everything is kept in the house, and it has a lot of personalization. So it can be programmed in such a way that it meets your specific needs, whatever they may be. So the ultimate question is, what is the cost of a smart home? The price depends on the type of equipment and how much equipment you purchase. Give you an example, a smart thermostat, it's around $400. That includes the product itself, installing the product, and training you and programming the product on how you can have it set up in your home. Are there monthly fees? Not typically. There are minor fees if you want emergency services notified, or if you want to pay for a security system. But what we found, honestly, is most of our clients don't necessarily need to pay for a security system because their smart home serves that purpose. Now, we're not saying that you should not have a security system, but what we are saying is if a smart home is set up in the right way with the cameras and the notifications and the lights come on if there's motion, in essence, it serves as a security system, which what enables you to do basically is to eliminate those monthly fees. So we are finished with our part of the presentation. I want to thank everyone again. I appreciate your time. And I guess we're going to open this up for questions. Don't hesitate to ask any question that you feel that you have.
Bill and Kathy, thank you so much for presenting. I do have one question in the chat box. And how does the person in the home with the fall detector, so they have a fall detector in the home, how do they let them know when they'll be down on the floor, say exercising or scrubbing the tile or in another position?
One of the things that it does is it doesn't instantly notate that there's a fall. So for example, if you fall or you lean over to pet your dog or you've dropped something, it gives you about a minute to before the alarm kicks off and alerts people. Typically in situations like this, however silly it may sound, we just encourage someone, number one, if it's in a room where you're going to be doing that, the simplest way to stop a false alarm would be to unplug it. Basically, it just plugs into a standard outlet. So you can unplug that and then, then the alerts won't happen. But it's programmed in such a way that it knows that people will, bend over to pick up something. It knows it doesn't pick up pets. It only picks up people, and it kind of eliminates those issues. But obviously, if you're in a room and you're going to be, doing sit-ups, the best way to do it is to unplug it.
Another thing is that when you get the VIR, the room is mapped out. It has to be programmed. The room has to be mapped out. That's what we do. The room is mapped out. So when you lay in your bed, or if you have a recliner, that would be mapped out in the room, so that that would not give a false alarm either. But
right.
If you're exercising, unplug it.
Very good. Thank you. I did have a question as well. I'm redoing my kitchen and I'm looking at fans for the kitchen. So do you look for boxes that say this is smart technology so that you can upgrade, or is there products that we should be thinking about? You mentioned the lights when you come home, the geo circling. Are there certain lights that you should look for that would match with technology, or would your lights that you currently have or the fans you currently have use that technology?
By the way, that's a great question. The answer is certain fans have the ability, and when we help our clients with this, they have the ability to be controlled by your voice, because there's a sensor, a box, a hub that's placed in the house that has the ability to talk to the fan via radio frequency. This is a question, actually, we're going to be working with a client yet this afternoon. It's a question we get asked all the time. And the most important thing is to call us. If you have a question, we can tell you, okay, certain fans, even fans at Lowe's and Home Depot, certain ones that work on radio frequency, we have a list of those. So if someone is interested in that, the most important thing, especially for new builds or reconstruction, is to just call us. And we can guide you as to which ones, because in order for the fan to be smart, the fan doesn't have to be smart. The module that controls the fan is smart. It's an excellent question. We are asked that question almost every day. So yeah, it's not the product or the fan that's smart. It's the module that controls the fan. Certain ones work with it, great. And if you decide, well, or think, well, maybe I want a smart home with a smart fan that I can control, and you get the right fan and it has smart capability, and you decide that you don't want to do that in the long run, then it's still just a perfectly working fan. There's nothing that you lose by doing that. You wouldn't have to replace it with another fan. The key is that you purchase the right product when you install, or when we install it, whichever you may be.
And then I might just ask another question as well, if I may. We have people who in Dublin, in that area, are taking care of people in other areas of the state. They might have a relative in Ashland, Ohio, or Canton, Ohio, or something like that. Is that something that you do? You travel to other locations to help them, or what is your geographical?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, it's unfortunately, because of the pandemic, it's one of the biggest areas that we face right now. And that is, as Kathy mentioned earlier, it's just the ability to communicate and to see people that you care about. Kathy talks to her mom, I think, almost every single night. And for her, she's 86 years old, at home, with Jim. They get bored, hours after hours in their home by themselves. And so it helps for just mental well-being as well, just the ability to talk to the people that mean a lot to you. So the answer to your question is yes, we do. We work with, both locations. and set up a system. We have a client that we're going to set up. Their mom lives in Dayton and they live here in Columbus. So we're working with them to help set up a system that's patterned around their lifestyles. That's the most important part here. This is not product centric, it's people centric. So what we do is we meet with people and their families or individuals and find out what are their needs, and we pattern that around what they want. You know, we don't have a boxed option for you. We have an option that meets your needs. And that's why, you know, we test all the technology. So if someone comes to us and they have a question like, here's the situation, like the cerebral palsy, there are certain things that we can put in place to help with that. People living in different locations happens a lot. That, you know, we have systems we can put in place, and we work with you to do that.
Very good. And if you could just please put up your contact slide at the end so people can maybe capture your email or your phone number again, that'd be great. Yeah. And we're so thrilled that everybody joined us today for this presentation. It will be archived. It has been recorded and it will be archived at the Forever Dublin Hub. And we'll, that'll be probably in a few weeks. There's no timeline on that. We have to do some edits, but it will be up on the hub. So, well, thank you again so much, Bill and Kathy. I don't know if Doug is still on, but thank you, Doug, for also giving us an insight to the city of Dublin and what is being done for the fiber optics there.